iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus. What is there to say about these new iPhones? Let's first unbox them both. The iPhone 8 I have is a 64GB version in white, or as Apple calls it, silver. And the iPhone 8 Plus I have is a space gray 256GB version. Let's go with the iPhone 8 first. Nothing too crazy about either of these packages, although the space gray version doesn't have black internals. I feel like the slate iPhone 5 did, or another black version of the iPhone did have like black paperwork and the black plastic inside. Anyhow, Apple still does not make any other color besides white for the accessories that come in the box. But moving past that minor nuance, this is a regular old iPhone. Apple has been using this body design since 2014 when it introduced the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus.
In the center, iPhone 6, and on the right, the iPhone 6 Plus. And yes, they're bigger.
Although these iPhones look identical to the old versions, there is one thing that sticks out immediately. Notice the branding on the back. All it says is iPhone now. I think it looks really clean. And of course, the back is glass. The glass is back. We haven't seen Apple do a glass back iPhone since the iPhone 4S. Many, many years ago. And just quickly glancing at the actual finish, it looks like the word iPhone and the Apple logo are under the glass, so they won't scratch as easily as they used to. And Apple claims that this glass is the hardest glass ever in a smartphone. I don't know how much I buy that. If you do happen to pick up an iPhone 8 or 8 Plus, I recommend protecting them somehow with either a case or a skin, because these things are going to scratch, going to fingerprint, and if you drop it, I would count on probably cracking, either the front or the back, now that both the front and the back are glass. And like I said, cosmetically, these are virtually identical to the older models that look like this, obviously save for the glass back. But upon first glance, it's hard for me to distinguish the difference between the iPhone 8s and then the iPhone 7s. The glass is pretty grippy, it feels good in the hand. It definitely feels like a premium device in comparison to the super slippery aluminum finish on the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. Another key difference, a new feature that the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus bring, is this true tone display. If you've ever used Flux or Night Shift on your iPhone, it's a setting or program that allows you to tweak the white balance of your screen to compensate for the light around you. So if you go outside, it'll adjust the color temperature. If you're in a dark room, it'll adjust the color temperature. These phones have had auto brightness forever, but now it'll adjust the color temperature of the display automatically. It's something that I haven't really experienced yet, mostly because I just unboxed these, but for the people that I've spoke to that have True Tone on their iPad, they say they can't go back now. So aside from the glass back, the sort of new branding on the back, and True Tone, what else makes these phones iPhone 8 and 8 Plus and not just 7S or 7S Plus? Well, one of the big things is wireless charging. This is a first for the iPhone. Here I've got a Mophie wireless charger and a Belkin wireless charger. They aren't made specifically for the iPhone, but because the iPhones now use the Qi wireless charging standard, you can basically buy any wireless charger that uses the Qi standard and it'll work. And you'll probably see these charging pads in places like Starbucks or at airports. They already exist there because Android has had wireless charging for years. So this Belkin charging pad costs 60 bucks, as does the Mophie charging pad. They both work. They're regular wireless chargers. There's not too much to say about them other than the fact that they just work. You place your iPhone down on these wireless pads and they charge. wirelessly. Now, this is not something that's sort of built into the table where you can lay your phone down anywhere and it'll charge. You have to lay it down on the pad, screen up. I tried, it doesn't work screen down, but it does work with the case, which is nice. And I haven't tested how efficient these chargers are. This is probably something you'll want to buy if you're one of those people that plugs in your phone when you go to bed and you don't look at it because you can't exactly use your phone while it's charging. So this is something you plug in next to your bed or your nightstand, and then you drop your phone on it when you go to bed and you wake up in the morning and your phone's fully charged. If you have an Apple Watch or any other gadget that does wireless charging, you'll be very familiar with how this works because it just does. Quick note on the wireless charging of the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. They are wireless charging ready out of the box, meaning you can just grab your charging pad and lay them down and they'll charge wirelessly. But it doesn't come with a wireless charger, so you're stuck with plugging in your iPhone unless you spend the money on a proper wireless charger. Just know that. So other than the glass back, True Tone, wireless charging, what else makes this the iPhone 8? I discussed this in one of my previous videos, should you buy the iPhone 8? I'll link that video below. But really, there's not too much else to see visually on the outside, cosmetically, with these new iPhones. These iPhones, the 8 and 8 Plus and the iPhone 10, are packing Apple's latest processor, the A11 Bionic. Now, if you're someone like me that gets an iPhone every year the iPhone feels super fast, super fluid. That's because it's brand new, the battery's great, there's no NAND degradation, so the phone's gonna feel really fast. But what makes the A11 Bionic different is that it has 6 cores, and for the first time, the GPU is something built by Apple. Now, this is all jargon for saying this phone is going to be really fast and handle just about everything you throw at it, including augmented reality. There's not too much to test. Well, there's not really anything at all to test with augmented reality right out of the box. But down the road, I bet we're going to see a lot of processor-intensive augmented reality apps that the A11 Bionic handles with ease. And I guess we could talk about the colors of these phones. The space gray iPhone 8 kind of looks more like a volcanic ash color. The black iPhone 7 is pretty much black. This is definitely not black, and they're not calling it black, rightfully so. But I mean, really, these things are just identical to the iPhone 7. If you're not looking up close and notice the shiny, this glass back here on the iPhone 8 Plus, I mean, if you told me this was a jet black 7 Plus, on first glance, I'd be like, that kind of looks more gray to me, but man, I wouldn't know the difference. Another thing Apple changed is the camera system. Both of these cameras got an upgrade. If I gave you a blind comparison test, if I took photos on an iPhone 7 and an iPhone 8, and then an iPhone 7 Plus and an iPhone 8 Plus, I'm not sure I'd be able to tell the difference, and I'm not sure you'd be able to tell the difference. I should do a video like that. So yeah, the cameras got upgraded. I haven't tested them at all. I will be testing them, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see when I upload my proper camera test with these devices. It's coming. And I had to mention the iPhone now does 24 frames per second 4K video recording. That is a first natively for the iPhone ever. You've never been able to record at 24 frames per second on an iOS device natively. Yes, I know Filmic Pro and other camera apps exist, but out of the box, you've got 4K video recording at 24 frames per second. As someone who makes video primarily at 24 frames per second, but not 4K because that is a huge win for me. Also, the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus now do 240 frames per second at 1080. That's great also. And then I want to quickly mention portrait lighting. The iPhone 8 Plus and then the iPhone 10 exclusively will have portrait lighting. The iPhone 10 will have it with the front-facing camera system as well as the back. The iPhone 8 Plus just has it with the back because of the dual lens system back here. So what portrait lighting allows you to do is manipulate the lighting even further than just regular portrait mode. So portrait mode kind of blurs the background, gives you this professional DSLR bokeh look. Portrait lighting allows you to take the light in the photo and push it even further. You've got a couple options for portrait lighting. You've got natural light, studio light, contour light, stage light, and mono light. I messed around with these. I pointed these studio lights at me in the studio and shot with some of this portrait lighting effect. It looks pretty lit. It definitely looks processed, don't get me wrong, but it'll be fun to play with these settings, especially outside in the daylight with light from the sun. I guess I should just mention this in case it wasn't crystal clear. The iPhone 8 and 8 Plus have home buttons, they have Touch ID, they have the Lightning connector. They're basically iPhone 7S's. The iPhone 10, or as I still want to call it, iPhone X, is the very different one with no home button, and that comes out November 3rd. The iPhone 8 and 8 Plus still have the same IP67 water and dust resistance, so no, these are not fully waterproof. I don't recommend taking them in the shower or the pool, but you can. As far as battery is concerned, on Apple's website, it literally says iPhone 8 lasts about the same as the iPhone 7. iPhone 8 Plus lasts about the same as the iPhone 7 Plus. There you have it. They're still iPhones. The batteries suck. Well, the regular size iPhone battery sucks. The Plus model iPhones definitely have a longer lasting battery because they are literally bigger. And then one more super quick thing, the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus have Bluetooth 5.0, which will give you longer range, a stronger connection, and the ability to be connected to multiple devices at the same time. So if you've ever wanted to use a Bluetooth speaker and then connect to your spectacles, for example, you always had to only be connected to one device at a time. Bluetooth 5 enables you to be connected to multiple devices at the same time. Now, maybe it's just me. Tell me if you feel the same way. I feel like the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus are just not that hyped. Obviously, we have the iPhone 10 coming in a couple of weeks, but the fact that there are these new iPhones here, it feels like no one really cares about them that much. Apparently, the Fifth Ave Apple Store had a huge line. It was a huge spectacle. Obviously, that store is like the flagship store of the entire world, but I just feel like if I were to go into an Apple store tomorrow and ask for any flavor of the iPhone 8, I'd probably be able to get it. Now, that is not usually the case. In years past, the iPhone is damn near impossible to get for the first couple of weeks, and I guarantee you that's gonna happen with the iPhone 10. But it just feels like these aren't that hype. Hype check on the iPhone 8, I'd say a moderate 6. Ladies and gentlemen and humans that are watching this video, I think that's pretty much it. That was a quick unboxing and impressions of the iPhone 8 Plus and 8. Stay tuned for more videos. Let me know what you want to see me test in the comments down below. I've got a Galaxy S8 and a Galaxy S8 Plus. Should I put them head to head? And I definitely want to do a whole iPhone vlog shot at 24 frames per second at 4K with an iPhone. So stay tuned for that. And drop a like if you enjoyed watching this video. And that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.